Hello Year 1, we're on our last chapter of our maths book and it's chapter 20 and it's called Space. No, it's not about the planets and space, but it's about the space that we're in and the different positions. So we've got a picture of the children in a class sitting on some chairs and it says, are we able to describe everybody's position? So we've got Elliot and Sam and Holly. And we have Ruby and Amira and Emma and Charles, and then Holly, Ravi and Lulu. Can we say where they are, where their position is? What could you say? Have a little think. Right, we could say Elliot and Sam are next to each other. They're sitting next to each other. We could say Elliot, Sam and Hannah are on the top row, as the top row. We could say Ruby, Amira, Emma and Charles are on the middle row. We could say Amira, Emma and Charles are all sitting next to each other. And we could say that Emma is in the middle of Charles and Amira. And they all are in the middle row. Then we could say Holly and Ravi are in next to each other. We could say Lulu, Ravi and Holly are in the front row, top row, middle row, bottom row, or front row, back row, middle row. We can say where they are on their position. So our maths now, the last few lessons are all about different positions and where people are, describing them. Okay, so here's a small picture of the large picture that we saw on the other page. And on the Let's Learn it says, Elliot, Sam and Hannah are seated on the top row. There they are. Elliot, Sam and Hannah, they're on the top row. Then it says Ruby, Amira, Emma and Charles are seated in the middle row. They're in the middle row. And then it says here, Holly, Ravi and Lulu are seated in the bottom row. Top row, middle row, bottom row. And then if we look over to this page, we can see it says Elliot is there, Amira and Emma and Holly, and it says Holly is seated, there she is, in front of Amira and Emma and Elliot. So she's in front of them. Elliot is seated behind Emma, Holly and Amira. So that's, have a look at where you are. Are you next to somebody? Are you in front of somebody? Are you behind somebody? Now, we've got a burger sandwich here and it's telling us all about the different parts. So it tells us the top piece is called the bun. So the top and the bottom is the bun, which is the bread. It's a bread bun. The next bit is the tomato. The next piece is the meat. That's like your hamburger, your beef burger. The next piece is the cheese. And the next piece is the lettuce. And we can talk about the positions of each piece of food. We could say the buns are at the top and the bottom. Top and bottom tells us the position of the bun. Buns are at the top and bottom. The tomato here is above the meat and the cheese and the lettuce. So the tomato is above the meat, the cheese and the lettuce. We could say the tomato is on top of the meat. And we could say the meat is on top of the cheese. Can you think of something else to say? That's right, you could say the cheese is on top of the lettuce. Or you could say the meat is under the tomato. See how many different ways you can describe that bun. While I turn over and look at the next page. Right, so again we've got the children here where they're seated and it tells us that the children are seated close to each other. So we have Ravi, Amira, Sam, Emma, Charles and Elliot, Lulu, Holly, Ruby and the teacher at the desk at the front. So the children are seated close to each other. There's no social distancing there, is there? No, they didn't need to do that. So they're all close to each other. And it says that the children are seated around Charles. There's Charles. And they're all seated around Charles. We could say Charles is in the middle. It says the teacher's desk is near Lulu, Holly and Ruby. There's the teacher's desk near to them. We could say that Ravi, Amira and Sam are seated far from the teacher. Now, here we go. This is Holly and she says, am I close to the teacher? Is Holly close to the teacher? Yes, she is. You could perhaps make up some questions. What about, is Sam close to the teacher? Can you see where Sam is? That's right, he's at the back. Is he close to the teacher? No, he's far from the teacher. You could play this little game with somebody at home. It says have some number blocks, but you could use dice. Can you pile the number blocks together and ask your partner to name the positions of the numbers? For example, you could say that 1 is on top and 9 is on the bottom. Have a little go, see if you can play that little game. Now, in our guided practice today, we are looking at more things to do with positions and the words that we use. So we're looking first of all at these shelves. And let me see, let's read the picture first. So here we've got a world, a globe. On here, on this shelf, we've got some books. And on this shelf, we've got a spotty box. So we've got to fill in the blanks by using the word top, middle, or bottom. Here we go. The globe is on the something shelf. Is it the top, middle, or bottom? Top, well done, that's right, it's on the top. The next one is, the books are on the top, middle, or bottom shelf. Which one? That's right, it's the middle shelf, well done. And the spotty box is on the bottom shelf, well done. Let's look at number 2. Here's our picture. So we've only got 2 shelves this time. We've got the bottom shelf and a middle shelf. There's no top shelf. Well, that's the top and the bottom. We've got some flip-flops, some boots, and some shoes. Let's see. Now, this time you've got to fill in the blanks by using on top of, or in front of, or above. The pair of shoes is, there's the pair of shoes, is placed something the pair of boots. The pair of shoes is placed on top, in front, or above. That's right, it's in front of the pair of boots. Well done. B says, one flip-flop is placed something the other. On top of the other, in front of the other, or above. One flip-flop, can you see? It's only a very small picture. One flip-flop is placed on top of, well done, the other flip-flop. And the last one in number 2, the flip-flops are placed something the pair of boots. The flip-flops here, are they placed on top of the boots, in front of the boots, or above the boots? Yes, well done, it is above. They're not on top because they're not resting on the top, but they are above. Well done. Let's have a look at these trees. Now, we've got to use the word around or near in these spaces. It says describe using around or near. The trees are something tree D. The tree, there's tree D. Are the trees near or around? Well, I suppose they are near because they are near it. But do you think the other word would be better? That's right, because D is in the middle and they're all around. Just like we had Charles in the other picture in the middle and all the children were around. So the trees are around tree D. Let's look at the last one on number 3. It says tree E and G are either around H or near. That's right, they're near tree H. And the last one, you either put in close to or far from. England is close to Singapore or England is far from Singapore. Singapore's is a country right over in the east of the world. So it's far from. Well done. England is far from Singapore. What about this one? England is close to or far from Scotland. That's right, it's close to. Well done. Have a go at worksheet 1, pages 143 and 144.